Dr. Meg Wellman, and I'm up a tree. This tree is part of my laboratory, and as a scientist, I study lots of creatures that live up here. Here's one right now. This raccoon is actually a mammal, and that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Say the word animal to most people, and chances are they will think of some critter, such as a dog, a cow, or a horse. As different as these animals are, they and many other less well-known animals, such as manatees and armadillos, all have something very important in common. They're all mammals, a large and varied animal group. Mammals come in many different forms. Some, such as these mighty bison, which can weigh in at more than 2,000 pounds, or 900 kilos, are real heavyweights. Others, however, tip the scales at barely an ounce, or 31 grams. Some mammals are serious meat eaters, while others are content to nibble on grass. And some are land lovers, while others are definitely into the swim of things. Some mammals, such as horses, mules, goats, and cattle, helped humans for thousands of years. Other mammals, however, such as the mongoose captured by this scientist, can do great harm. These fierce little hunters were imported by farmers years ago to kill rats. Now, however, since they have few natural enemies in their new homes, the mongoose are taking over and killing other, often useful animals. As we've seen so far, there are many different kinds of mammals. However, as different as mammals can be from one another, they are alike in some very important ways. For one thing, all mammals are vertebrates. Vertebrates are animals that have backbones, and there are 5 important groups of them in the animal kingdom. The first vertebrate group is made up of fish of all different kinds. Amphibians, such as frogs and toads, make up the second group of vertebrates. The third group includes reptiles, such as alligators, snakes of all sorts, and turtles, such as this water lover. The fourth vertebrate group consists of birds. The fifth and final group contains mammals. Of these groups, the mammals are the most complex and advanced. Along with being vertebrates, or animals with backbones, all mammals are also alike in another important way. They're warm-blooded. That means mammals use some of the energy they get from the food they eat to keep their bodies at a fairly constant temperature, even when the air around them is hotter or colder. Along with being warm-blooded, mammals also share 2 key features that set them apart from other vertebrates. This polar bear illustrates the first of these features perfectly. Can you guess what it is? Well, if you said body hair or fur, you're right. All mammals have hair at some time during their lives, even if it's just a few bristles. With the exception of animals such as manatees, armadillos, and elephants, mammals tend to have substantial amounts of body hair or fur. Not only does this hair help keep them warm, it also helps to protect them against injury. Their hair is also one of the things that has made many mammals so valuable to humans. Native Americans, for example, were skillful buffalo hunters. They used buffalo skins to cover the teepees in which they lived and to make blankets and robes. Another valuable type of mammal hair is wool from sheep, goats, and other woolly mammals. This valuable resource has been spun and woven into cloth and rugs for thousands of years. Unfortunately, however, the beautiful fur that covers some mammals, such as this perky little river otter, has all too often caused them to be seriously overhunted. Beavers, for example, were nearly wiped out in North America by trappers who sold their skins to make the beaver hats that were once so popular. And today, the same sad story is being repeated as tigers and other mammals with valuable skins, such as jaguars and ocelots, face extermination at the hands of hunters who sell their skins to souvenir hunters and the fashion industry. Along with body hair, mammals also share a second key characteristic. All female mammals have mammary glands. These produce the milk upon which their young feed. Milk is a nutritious food, and it provides just what's needed to get a good start in life. Milk and other dairy products made from it, such as butter, cheese, and yogurt, are also important foods for humans. And in many parts of the world, goats, cows, and other mammals are raised for the milk they produce. Nearly all mammals give birth to live young. In contrast, most other vertebrates lay eggs. That's the case, for example, with sea turtles and most other reptiles. These scientists are studying a nest of sea turtle eggs. They, like the eggs of most reptiles, hatch outside their mother's bodies. The mud turtles lay their eggs on beaches and then return to the sea, leaving their eggs incubate in the warm sand and hatch later. In contrast, most mammal babies develop inside their mother's bodies in a structure called the uterus and are then born alive. The length of time it takes for mammal young to develop within their mothers is called the gestation period. Gestation periods vary widely depending on the mammal involved. An elephant baby, for example, takes almost 2 years to develop. Human babies, on the other hand, have a gestation period of about 9 months, while the babies of small mammals, such as rodents, can develop in just 3 or 4 weeks. As we mentioned earlier, mammals are among the most successful animals. They've managed to adapt to just about every environment, be it in the ocean or jungle trees, in streams and ponds, on the forest floor. It doesn't matter. You'll find mammals living there. One of the main reasons mammals have adapted so successfully to so many different environments is their eating habits. The truth is, mammals, of one kind or the other, dine on just about everything. And one of the ways scientists classify or group mammals is by what they eat. Some, for example, such as deer, manatees, moose, and elk, are called herbivores. Herbivores are animals whose diets consist mostly of plants. This elk skull shows teeth that are typical of many large herbivores. They have sharp outside edges for cutting and broad flat surfaces for grinding and crushing. Such specialized teeth are perfect for animals that must survive on grass, leaves, and other such tough plant material. And they're one of the key adaptations that have allowed herbivores of all sorts to be so successful in spreading out across the world's grasslands and forests. While the herbivores we've just talked about prefer to dine on plants, there are many other mammals, such as wolves, polar bears, the Arctic's great hunters, and members of the cat family, for whom raw flesh is just the dish. Called carnivores, these meat eaters are all good hunters. And like the herbivores, carnivores have specialized teeth that help them get their food. Notice the 2 long dagger-like teeth at the front of this mountain lion's skull? Called canines, they're ideal for gripping and tearing. The sharp back teeth are used to slice and cut their prey's flesh. Because carnivores feed by preying on other animals, they're called predators. The creatures they eat are called prey. Egg-shaped with stubby legs and a long tail, this little armadillo practices a third and final approach to dining. Roots, leaves, insects, grubs, toads, and just about anything else they can scratch up are all part of the armadillo diet. Called omnivores, creatures such as our little friend here, and other mammals, such as this cross fox, coatis, and humans, gladly dine on a mixed diet of both meat and plant foods. It's this adaptability that lets us and other omnivores find something to eat just about anywhere. For the last few minutes, we've seen different physical adaptations, such as a buffalo's thick coat of hair, a seal's powerful swimming, or a lion's dagger-sharp teeth, have allowed mammals of one kind or the other to prosper and spread out across the earth everywhere from the steaming tropical rainforest to the frozen Arctic tundra. Along with such things as the specialized teeth and protective coats we mentioned, mammals have also benefited from another kind of adaptation, and that's brain power, or the ability to think. Being able to think has been some mammals, ourselves included, a critical added boost toward success. And here at Washington's National Zoo, scientists have launched an ambitious program designed to learn more about animal thinking. And here's one of the project's star participants. It's an orangutan, happily scooting its way along the O-line. That's a set of overhead cables leading from the Great Ape House to the zoo's unique think tank, or Animal Thinking Research Center. Native to Indonesia, orangutans show powerful mental abilities, and they enjoy interacting with the think tank's scientists. That's a combination that makes orangutans ideal participants. And here's Inda, one of the think tank's star learners.
Is to highlight the right answer.
She's working with biologist and project coordinator Rob Shoemaker in a language use experiment that's on the cutting edge of psychological research.
Good. Excellent.
Shoemaker is teaching Inda to recognize computer-generated abstract symbols that represent such things as individuals, foods, and actions. Here, for example, Shoemaker is showing Inda bits of fruit and having her highlight the symbols representing them on a touchscreen computer monitor.
Look more carefully. You ready?
Each time Inda makes the correct choice, Shoemaker rewards her by letting her eat the fruit. Once Inda has learned enough symbols, Shoemaker will try to teach her to put them together into sentences. Eventually, he hopes, Inda and other orangs in her group will be able to communicate their thoughts to him and other humans. Along the way, Shoemaker and his associates will also have discovered much about the nature of thinking and communication, and how orangutans and other animals go about it. Now, let's take a few minutes to answer some simple questions. They'll help to refresh your memory about some of the interesting mammals we've just met. The directions are simple. Either check true or false, or fill in the blank with the correct word after you hear this tone. Good luck, and let's get started. True or false? Most mammals give birth to live young. True or false? A few mammals have mammary glands. True or false? All mammals have hair on their bodies at some time in their lives. True or false? Predators eat only plants. Now let's do things a little differently. Instead of checking true or false, complete the following sentences with the correct word or words after you hear the tone. Mammals and other animals with backbones are called. Animals whose diets consist mainly of plants are called. The time it takes for mammal babies to develop inside their mother's body is called the. Animals that for the most part eat meat are called. Animals that regularly eat both meat and plants are called. Most mammal babies develop in a structure in their mother's bodies called a. Well, that brings us to the end of this quiz and of our look at the fascinating world of mammals.